Hey there, welcome back to the channel. We are not in studio today, if you couldn't tell. We are out here. That's the Hudson, that's Manhattan, that's New Jersey. I'm here with Jonathan Freer, who you might recognize from Brew. He's actually holding the camera right now, thank you, Jonathan. We're here with Sunflowerman on Instagram. We're going to be talking to him in a minute, and he is doing a real-time piece of art of the Zenith Rainbow Flyback. We've reviewed
I'm Sunflowerman. I'm a fashion and watch painter.
fashion and watch painter. Love it. We've met a few times at various events of you doing kind of real-time artwork. What is the most difficult watch that you've been tasked with drawing?
Ooh, the most difficult watch I've been tasked with drawing. I mean, context matters a lot, but one of the more difficult watches I've had to paint was, I'm going to not remember the exact model, but it was a De Bethune. But you know, I've kind of blocked it out of my memories because it was a little bit of a nightmare trying to complete that piece. Technically, it's still sitting in my studio, half done.
Half done?
Half done.
Okay. What's the most fun watch that you've ever drawn?
Ooh, the most fun watch I've ever drawn. Ooh, Jonathan is right there. So
obviously a Brew.
We'll have to talk about a Brew watch. Actually, when the Brew metric, the retro metric came out, I did a painting. It was kind of like a surrealist painting of the watch. It was like really big in perspective, and then there was a guy. It had Jonathan's old Ducati in the background.
Oh yeah.
Do you still have that?
Yeah, clean up. Oh yes, I do.
You didn't sell it on eBay?
Never. Matthew's really good at bringing all the different artifacts of different objects and brands all into one painting. For instance, he talks about the watch, the person, the environment, and in this matter, he was talking about this surrealist environment. So it's like these objects floating in space. It's very cool, and it's like an imagination like no one else. So I think that's why his artwork is like nothing else that you see.
That's a good point. What would you call your style?
Ooh, my styles are a little bit varied and mixed. Usually in the studio, my watches are more of a portrait style, but when I'm having fun and I'm playing around, it's much more of a surrealist style. I like to play with perspective. I like to play with shape and just have a little bit of fun. Even with these like live drawings right now, I wouldn't necessarily call this surrealist, but it's playing with this sense of the artist's hands. We're not worried about bringing out a compass and a ruler. It's really like, what am I seeing in the moment, and what is it immediately translating into on the paper? Some might call that plein air. I like to use the word sauvage, which is just another French word, but it's kind of like wild and free. It's just a wild and free kind of expression of the watch.
How do you spend your time when you're not making art?
If I'm not making art, I'm usually making art. So it's usually all centered around making art. Except I do love bouldering. I've gotten into bouldering over the last several years, and that's become a big part of the Sunflowerman daily. 3 to 4 times a week.
Bouldering like at the gym. Like there's a belay line and then there's bouldering, right?
Yeah. I don't do the belay very much. That's just like the black dials. It's too time intensive. Bouldering is wonderful because you're not only working your body out, but you're also solving problems. So there's a puzzle you have to accomplish, but you have to do it physically. It's kind of a very poetic. It's almost a romantic experience. Like you're discovering a lot about who you are.
Where did this rank on the difficulty level of?
Oh, this is on the high end of difficulty. Look, you've got on the bezel, you have all these notches, but they're not even all the way around, right? They're subsections. So you have the 12 sections of 3. So now I've got all that to deal with. We have the orange on black and white on black. So it's not just one color on black. I'm dealing with multiple colors on black on the bezel. Then white and loom on black on the dial, and multiple colors on the sub-dial on the side here. You're giving me all sorts of trouble here.
I apologize, but it turned out beautifully.
Thank you.
What do you think of the watch?
Oh, wonderful. I might take it home with me.